right, YouTube, we got another big box in the mail from Stylecraft. All right, let's open it up. All right. At this point, I should have like a knife to really open these boxes instead of always using this these scissors. Hopefully, it's not a box within a box and a box within a box and a box within a box. A box within a box within a box. All right, let's open it up. Woo! Just like I thought it was. The new Instinct, the new Metal Instinct X. Boom, this is what it looks like. I definitely want to put the clear, I definitely want to put this clear one on, for sure. We definitely gonna do that, because I think it just looks better. Alright, this is what it looks like. Sounds quiet. That's good. So it comes with the white and the red. I'm gonna probably put the red with the clear on there. Take it off. All you gotta do is unscrew this and put the other one on. So I'm gonna do that now. All right. So this is what it looks like with the clear cage on there. Looks dope. I feel like the red. I feel like the red and the black and white accents is better. We're gonna test these out, see how they hit. Stay tuned. It looked like it's zero gap though. It really looked like it's really zero gap straight out of the box.
They always pay their light bill.
All right, y'all. Stay tuned. YouTube, so what you want to do before you start cutting is pick the hair out. Now, in this case, you really don't have to pick the hair out. I'm just doing it so it won't, snag when I run through it with the clippers. But at the same time, you could also use some shears to take the bulk of the hair down. I just decided to use my clippers. So I went ahead and grabbed my 2-guard, with the lever fully open, and I'm going with the grain, knocking off all of the bulk with my Metal Instinct, clippers. Now, like I said, you could use some shears to knock off the bulk to make it easier. But for me, I just wanted to go with the grain because my client said he wanted to have waves. So I just wanted to kind of, go in that direction to lay it down as I cut. Now, mind you, my client didn't really know what his wavelength was. He didn't necessarily say, hey, grab a 2 and take it down. I just had to know, based off of his hair texture, what will be the right length for his hair. And I felt like that was a 2. Not everybody's wavelength is a 1.5. So just keep that in mind when you're, when a client doesn't know and he's just asking, hey, take me down a wavelength. So as you can see, in this crown area, there's a cowlick somewhere. All right, what you want to do is you want to lightly go over it. You don't want to cut all the way down to the scalp right away, because then you're going to go over the cowlick and you're going to cause a big gouge going in the wrong direction of that cowlick. So as you can see, I'm kind of just coasting over it, trying to identify where his crown is so that I can go around it, basically going with the grain of that cowlick. just because you have the bulk cut off, you want to make sure you cut everything down to that exact length. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to go over everything, making sure that I go with the grain of his pattern. You could kind of see how his hair is growing by the direction that the hair just wants to lay. So make sure you go in that direction and, just go over it until it's down to his proper length. So what you're not going to see me do is close the lever on that 2 guard when I'm working in that area, because I want it to be laid as much as possible. You always want to take the front edge down to a guard size lower, or if not, like just close the lever, you know what I mean? So that there's no overhang when you go to line them up. You'll get a crispier line that way. Now working on the taper, what you want to do before you even set this bald line in is you want to brush in the proper direction. That's important, all right? The best way that the hair wants to lay, you want to brush in that way. That way, the hair is laid and you'll get a better blend as well. So right now, I'm setting in what you would call a burst taper, and I'm setting my bald line in a triangle-like shape. This is going to give you the shape that you need to get the look that you want. I went back with my clippers with the lever fully open, and I'm going over that triangle-like shape, keeping that distance, all right? The distance is a 1/2 inch, and I'm going over that guidelines multiple times to ensure that it's at that length. But most importantly, use your corners of the blade. Do not use the full blade. That's just gonna take off more hair in other areas that you don't want. Next guideline I'm gonna set in is with my 1 guard with the lever open, and I'm going up that same width, which is a 1/2 inch, all right? I'm going over the guideline just like I did with the lever open, and I'm just brushing in that direction. Notice how when I brush, I'm brushing sideways to his ear, more so than, to his eyes, because that's the way his hair best lays. And it's gonna look way neater brushing that way than if I was to pull it towards his temple. So I'm not gonna focus on the bulk up at the top, because you're gonna find out later that it's the bulk at the top is not gonna be that bad. So what I do is just close the lever and just soften that middle line up as much as I can, so it's easier to come behind it with the next step. So the next step being the 0 guard with the lever fully closed, all right? And in a flick out motion, I'm flicking out that middle line. It's gonna be a lot easier because you softened it up with the 1 guard closed, all right? And as you can see, I'm just using my corners, brushing the hair back down, really starting below the line, flicking to the line, and just taking baby steps as I go. I know right now this is looking crazy to move on and keep moving on to the next step, but like I said, don't be stuck in a certain guideline so long that you don't move on. Always move on, because you can always clean it up with detailing. All right, so right now I got my lever fully closed, and in a flick out motion, I'm flicking out that bottom line. I'm flicking below the line to the line, and if I do decide to go up any higher, I'm adjusting my lever as I go up. Now I'm gonna work on the bulk at the top, but if I would have just focused on the bulk at the top right away, I would have took too much off. All right, being that my client wants waves, we want waves all the way to the shoreline as much as possible. All right, so we sometimes need that bulk. So with my 2 guard with the lever open, I'm just kind of flicking out that bulk at the top. Now that the bulk is cleared, you set your guidelines in, you took them out. Lastly, what you want to do is detail your work. I always like to detail, I always like to refer to the mirror, because the mirror shows you a different perspective on the blend than just seeing it head on. You get so wrapped up and caught up in, what do I need to make it look like? If you look behind you, look into the mirror, you'll see those imperfections a lot easier, because like I said, it gives you a different outlook on, just what it looks like. If you don't have access to a mirror, what I like to do is I like to rest my eyes for a minute, come back to the blend, and just start detailing. How I detail is I use my corners in areas where I see bulk. I take off the guard. I use the corners of my blade like thinning shears just to get those little hairs to kind of separate. You don't want to take away a lot of hair. What you're doing is you just want to split those hairs up so it just doesn't look so bunched up. So shout out to all the students that's watching right now. What I need you guys to understand is to memorize your steps. Okay, that cuts out a lot of time. Whether you guys know it or not, like you thinking about what to do next is hurting your time, and time-wise, while cutting hair, it all adds up. Time is everything. So what you want to do is you want to not be able to think while you cut hair. What I mean by that is you should already know what you grabbing right after this bald line. You know what I'm saying? So to be 2 steps ahead, you should have it memorized. All right, bald line, lever open, 1 open, 2 go back down, 1 guard, go back down, 0 guard close, taking out that bottom line with the no guard close. Like all of these things help you cut faster. It cuts out time, and it prevents you from like thinking. Also, don't just use these guidelines on every texture. Don't think that, oh man, he has straight hair or he has coarse hair, or you know, his hair is a rough. No, use the same steps on everybody, the same width. That will also cut down your time from you thinking that just because this is a different texture that it's going to be different. Just do the same thing on everybody as far as, you know, setting in your guidelines and the width. So as a student, if you're feeling discouraged, listen, just realize that all your favorite barbers, they had to start somewhere. All right. We wasn't good, you know, as soon as we picked up the clippers. Yeah. Some of us may have been decent more than others, just because, you know, we love art or it just came natural, but majority of us had to butcher somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like you probably won't get a barber that could tell you, hey, you know, when I started cutting, it was just all peaches and cream. No. We all had that client that we pushed their line back, and they still coming to us today because now we done got good. You know what I mean? So don't be discouraged. Don't let anybody in class or in school or outside of school, be it your clients, discourage you from, you know, sticking with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy for people to say, hey man, you know, your cuts suck, or you push somebody back, or you ain't a good barber. It's easy for somebody to say that. You know what I mean? So don't listen to those clients. Don't listen to those students, classmates. Just keep doing you. Just keep grinding. You'll get better with time. Just like I said, remember these steps. Repetition is everything. And don't get caught up in where you're at right now versus where you want to be. It's a journey. So I love making these full-length videos for you guys just because, you know, it'd have been a lot easier if I was in school and I was to watch something and just to go along at the same pace would have, you know, it would have got me along, you know, further. So it would have got me further along for sure. So I'm going to keep these up in the comment section below. Let me know if you want more of these long form haircuts. I do it so often here and there, but I think I'm gonna start, you know, just making these tutorials longer. That way you guys get a real feel for, you know, how long it takes to cut hair, or how long it takes for me to cut hair. You know what I mean? And you could kind of compare and follow along, and you guys don't have to just pause the video to catch up. You know what I mean? So I feel like these long videos are very helpful. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. So I'm going back using my Andis cordless T outliner. I know this is a shock, but these things hit. All right, these is with the cord. All right, if you've been a long time follower, you know back in the days I used to love these things. I used to cut with them all the time, and honestly, these are the best trimmers out. Nothing cordless can ever touch these. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had an argument in a shop. Everybody was like, oh, the convenience. Yeah, I get it. You could maneuver around, you know what I'm saying, without the cord way better. I get it. But when it comes to that touch, that blade to hair, the way the hair flies off, ain't nothing touching that. When it comes to the crunch, ain't nothing touching the Andis T outliners if you got them zero gap right. So as you guys can see, I started in the middle first. That way, I don't start from one end to the other end, because by doing that, it's a greater chance that your lineup will come out, leaning. You don't want that. So I start in the middle, work to one end, and then go to the other end. Right now, I'm working on the C cups, just using my corners. That's how I like to get my C cups real symmetrical, just by using the corners. I don't use the full blade at all. So as far as the back goes, behind the ear, I'm not gonna use my Andis T outliners back there because those are so sharp, it'll definitely cut up my client's neck. So you want to make sure you got some, kid-friendly liners. But these ain't even my kid-friendly liners. These are the Wall High Vis, and the Wall High Vis, they hit. But these don't hurt nearly as much as the Andis T outliners. They're not that sharp. You know what I mean? They're sharp, but like I said, they're cordless clippers. So how sharp can they be? How fast of a motor can it be? You know what I mean? So I like to use my corners going over my client's ear when it comes to that circular motion. On straight lines, I use the full blade, but when it comes to any curve, I'll use the corners of my blade. Now this is the part where y'all should be hating on me. All the students, every student barber, hate on me. Feel free to hate on me because I'm using enhancements, all right? You guys, I recommend not using enhancement until you perfect the haircut first, all right? Once you perfect the haircut, then you can start using enhancements. But as you're in school, you should be anti-Jeezy using enhancements. I support it. Shame me for using enhancements, all right? This part, skip this, okay? Like I said, once you get good at perfecting the entire look of the cut, then that's when you go into enhancements, but I really don't recommend it for student. Now, when it comes to doing a razor line, the best thing that I can do and to tell you guys is to stretch the skin. Make sure your skin is stretched and just trust the blade gliding across the skin. That's all it is you're putting the blade to the skin and just gliding it across, all right? Not digging, but gliding. I remember I was super scared to razor line anybody when I was in school. That's because I really wasn't trusting the process. I really wasn't stretching the skin, putting the blade. I was kind of shaking, kind of, being timid a little bit. But once you get going and once you razor, a lot, you'll find out that it's really not that deep. It's really not that hard. It's just gliding the blade across the skin. Listen, I love when I see my clients come in and they want a full-on transformation. They want something different. This client right here, he wanted waves. He trusted me to do it. But even I don't trust in me. I trust that. Got it. Yeah! You too. This is the cut. And if you like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Also, HustleDreamProduction, that's my brother. He does all my beats. His YouTube channel will be linked in the description below. Make sure you guys go give him a follow. Also, if you want to know where you can find any tools that you seen in this video, links will be in the description below. Otherwise, you guys can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. My TikTok is official360Jeezy and my Instagram is 360Jeezy. But it's your boy 360Jeezy.